Konnichiwa, neko kao. Actually, that's not true. I don't have any cats, but it's the only thing I know how to say. It felt like expressing the only idea I could express in Japanese. It's day 11, and I've essentially finished phase 1. And phase 1 consisted of learning the pronunciation and learning the basics of the writing system. So I'm basically done with that now, which leads me to phase 2, learning words. So I'm going to start by learning just some basic words in isolation, meaning just things like cat, dog, numbers, man, woman, really simple things. Now it's going to be really useful to know some grammar early on in Japanese. For example, all of the nouns have a thing called a counter. You can't just say there's 2 horses. You have to say like a specific kind of 2. There's 2 large animal horses. It's really complicated and it's going to be annoying, I think, but I'm not going to worry about that at the very beginning. I think that it would be easier to learn that kind of thing having already learned the words for horse and 2 before trying to learn how to put together there's 2 horses with the complicated counter things. One step at a time. We'll take baby steps and we'll get there. Time to go make some vocab flashcards. Now I want to give you a quick tour of the flashcards and software I'm using to learn Japanese. First of all, to study and create flashcards, I'm using the software Anki. And I'm going to put links to all of this stuff in the video description below. Within Anki, I'm using a flashcard template created by Gabriel Weiner from Fluent Forever. And for Japanese, that looks like this, which is this giant crazy thing here. I'm also using a couple of plugins within Anki. And let me show you what those do. So if I put a kanji character in here, let's say neko for cat, we're going to automatically get a bunch of extra stuff down here. Now, one final tool that I'm using, and this will save you a lot of time if you are creating your own flashcards, and that is something called multi-search. Multi-search is this little script that you can run. It's going to say enter my search phrase, and I can type any Japanese word in here. Inu, for example, for dog. I hit enter, and then I get all of these tabs open and all of this information about the Japanese word inu. First of all, we have Google Images with captions below. If you hover over the text, you get the original Japanese postings. If I go to my second tab, I'm going to have pronunciation recordings from native speakers.
Inu.
On the next tab, I have the Jisho dictionary, which shows all the definitions. And then on this last page, I have another dictionary. So to finish, let's create our first flashcard. First, I want to open a few things. First of all, Anki. Next, my word list. This is the Fluent Forever word list, which I'm currently working through. Next, I want to keep this folder handy, which contains MP3 recordings of all of those words. And then finally, I want to open a browser to this website, Kanji Damage, which is just awesome. Let's say I'm going through my word list and I want to learn neko for cat. The first thing I'll do is search for that kanji on Kanji Damage. And then it's going to break down this kanji into all of its radical pieces. And if you want a little bit more info about how I'm working with radicals, check out the last vlog that I put up. If any of these are new, I need to create a mnemonic for it right off the bat. So I'll go to the bottom of this flashcard deck, drag the radical here, and then I need a mnemonic image. And so for me, the mnemonic image I want is cat dog. So I'll use my multi-search, quickly find an image, throw that on there, and I'm done with that. Next, I'm going to fill in the rest of this info. So I want the kanji character here. Then I automatically have all of this kana stuff and stroke order from the plugins. Next, I want to test myself on the word alone. In fact, that's basically all I'm doing at this point, so make sure that's on. Next, in the extra info field, you can put the counter type or anything really, but I'm going to put the counter, so that is key. It's this guy, and if you want, you can put a reminder on how to pronounce that. Next, I want an audio recording of this word, so I go to my folder here, drag and drop.
猫
Now I have a recording. If you want, you can test yourself on kana spelling. I'm not doing that anymore, but I did include this option for the first 50 or so words. I do want to test myself on the kanji spelling, and then I also want to use this one character blanked out. I do want to test myself on the signature, and the signature is just a word that means combining the first two radicals into one single image. So the idea is if you can remember a little piece of this kanji rather than the whole thing at once, if you can just learn a little piece at first, it'll help you recall the whole story later. Then if you want, you can use this next field for extra info. You can even write in your mnemonics. Generally, I try not to have English anywhere, but if you need the reminders, it's probably not the worst thing just for the mnemonics to have those here. And with that, all we need is a picture of a cat. So let's search on our multi-search in Japanese for neko. We're going to get all of these results. I want to scan this for any differences between the English meaning of cat and the Japanese meaning of cat, if there is any. And I can see that all of these look like kittens, so I'm going to pick a kitten-looking Japanese cat. It just gives me more cultural context for that word. And with that, I'm done with this flashcards, so I can go ahead and click Add. If I go back into Anki, we'll see that it's created 8 flashcards from that one action. So that'll keep us busy for a little bit. And that is how I'm creating flashcards for Japanese. And that's it for this week. So thank you for watching. Also, if you want to check them out, I put up a couple other videos today. There's one video about some modifications I made to the Fluent Forever Japanese model deck. And there's also a video about customizing the multi-search. Otherwise, thanks again for watching. Good luck with your Japanese studies, and see you next time.